So I know that some of us loves animals, especially dogs and cats. They're always our happy pill when we're sad, we're lonely, we're depressed. So we can play with them and also treat them. These are just some of the animals that live in our world. These animals are okay to play with because they're not considered as wild animals. However, some wild animals are kept in captivity and limits their capabilities when kept. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Sian, and today I'm going to discuss about my argumentative speech on wild animals should not be kept in captivity. So, wild animals are usually not seen in people's houses because obviously they're wild and they might do something to a person. That is the sole reason that wild animals are kept in the wild, and people must not touch them. However, we humans like to touch. We humans would like to explore. So we take experiments on things so we can have a deeper understanding on that thing. That includes the wild animals. We would also like to explore wild animals and keep them somewhere that people can see, and scientists to explore them much further. So, how would you feel if you're always locked in a cage and for the rest of your life? How would you also feel if you were always on exhibition? Animals should not be caged, and that's what the zoos do. Zoos are premises for the captivity of animals. These animals are to making them suffer unnecessarily, using them for entertainment and taking them away from their natural habitats. Whatever the good intentions of the zookeepers, animals in the zoo suffer. They're trapped in small spaces by cages and bars. A study of British Zoo found that elephant enclosures were 10 times smaller than their natural habitats, while polar bears are confined in spaces that are more than 1 million times smaller than their Arctic territory. Additionally, animals are physically and mentally healthier in the world than in the zoos. They suffer psychologically, often displayed by abnormal or self-destructive behavior. Aquatic animals do not have enough water. Birds are prevented from flying away because they cut their wings. Furthermore, the location of the zoos are in urban areas. The constant noise of the cities and all the people walking and taking photos around them make them crazy. Second is, zoos use wild animals for mere entertainment. People do not go to zoos for educational reasons. They simply go to be entertained and diverted by weird and wonderful creatures seen as objects of beauty and entertainment. Dale Marcellini, a zoo curator in Washington, conducted a study that found visitors spend less than 8 seconds per snake and 1 minute per lion. Otherwise, most people preoccupied themselves with eating, resting, and shopping. People treated the exhibits like wallpaper. As a form of education, the zoo is deficient. The only way to understand an animal properly is to see it in its natural habitat. The zoo gives a totally artificial and misleading view of the animal by isolating it from its ecosystem. The last reason is why would animals should be kept in zoos is because their existence tells the world that people have failed in allowing animals to live in the wild. Zoos are a failure. If all our wild animals were allowed to live in the wild, places where they're meant to live, then there would be no need for zoos. We could still see the animals in the wild. It would be more difficult to see them, but they couldn't be seen and enjoyed. But isn't it true that zoos help protect endangered species? Yes, that is true. One of the main points or the functions of zoos is to breed endangered species in captivity. There are certain problems with trying to conserve endangered species in this way, but it is right that we should at least try to conserve them. According to the Australian government, responding to the 90% Tasmanian drop has precipitated a nationwide breeding program ensure their future sustainability. And as long as animals are treated well in zoos, there is no reason why conservation, education, and cruelty-free entertainment should not all be combined in a zoo. There's also, of course, a valid role for breeding in different environments such as large nature reserves. Nevertheless, zoos are unique in being able to balance public entertainment and therefore income with the needs of their inhabitants. However, there are two problems with the claim that zoos are beneficial because they help to conserve endangered species. First is they do not have a very high success rate. Many species are going extinct each week despite the good intentions of some zoos. This is partly because a very small captive community of species is more prone to interbreeding and birth defects. Secondly, captive breeding to try to stave off extinction need not to take place in the context of a zoo, where the public come to look at captive animals. and see them perform tricks. Captive breedings should be undertaken in large nature reserves, not within the confines of a zoo. As there is a better alternative to zoos, so why do we have them? The answer is they make money for people. The way zoo animals are used can be seen in the famous white cat, or can be seen as the beautiful wild cat. Behind the scenes, there are many white tigers that are born with physical defects and sadly because of genetic problems. People made this problem, we made this. So truly, if you think animals should be kept in zoos, you will think that people are better than animals and that we can use animals for our entertainment. But if you believe people should respect all animals, then you won't want animals to be kept in zoos because it is unfair to them. So don't think that animals don't feel emotions, because they do. More people are gradually realizing this. As wild animals feel emotions and as they have natural instincts to live in the wild, they're bound to feel unhappy in a cage with concrete underfoot rather than grass and earth with the sky and sun above. So, do we have the right to make animals unhappy and for our entertainment? So that is all, guys. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you.